Hello everyone. Today we're going to jump into Photoshop. Okay, and first thing I'm going to do is show you how to open a image in Photoshop through Lightroom, and then how to do it directly from your hard drive or an image folder. There's two different ways. So we'll start with how to open an image into Photoshop through Lightroom. Okay, here I am in Lightroom. Just gonna find an image here that I feel like using. Let's see. I'm gonna go with this one. No. This one. Okay. Here we are. Gonna go up to File, Export, and gonna set the destination. Export to the desktop. I'm gonna change the file format, make sure it's not a JPEG or a TIFF or anything like that. I'm gonna set it as PSD. That's Photoshop document. Okay. Leave this stuff down here alone. Should be 16-bit depth and color space. Adobe RGB 1998. Make sure the resolution is set to 300 pixels per inch. Okay. You don't need to worry about any of this. And export. Okay. I'll close out of Lightroom. Close out of that. And here's my image right here. Okay. And what I usually just do is drag and drop into Photoshop. I already have a few other images open in here. Here it is. Ready to party. Okay. Just going to show you really quick what happens if you try to open a image into Photoshop from your hard drive or like an image folder. Okay, so I have my hard drive here, Elements, and I have a ton of crap in here. Just gonna open up a random image folder. And these are all raw files, okay, because I shoot in RAW as we are supposed to. Okay, let's just pick one. Trying to find a good one to use. Okay, here's a good one. They're so small. I think this one I'll use. Okay, so I'm gonna double click on that, and boom, here's the image. But wait, this is not Photoshop. This is something else, and this should happen the same way on the computers at school. This is a program called Camera Raw. Camera Raw. What this program does is converts raw files directly into Photoshop ready documents that Photoshop can open and read. Okay, so this program, Camera Raw, just allows you to do all your basic edits. Same as Photoshop. You can edit in here. You can edit in in Lightroom. All your big basic edits. So everything from exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, etc., etc. This does major adjustments across the entire image. So let's watch the image as I change the exposure. The whole thing gets darker or brighter. Okay, so it does same thing as Lightroom. You can make all your basic edits right here before we go into Photoshop and do the more fine-tuned stuff. Okay, so this image is a little on the yellow side, yellowish, greenish. I want to change the color a little bit. It's a little, I can't tell if it's cold or warm. There we go. I changed the temperature a little bit. It's too warm. I'm going to increase the blacks. The blacks aren't quite dark enough. for my liking. And then I'm going to turn down the highlights. So I just get the image ready to be edited in Photoshop, making my major adjustments to the image, same way that you would do it in Lightroom. All right, this doesn't look great. It's not perfect. It doesn't really need to be perfect for this demonstration. There's a lot of different options here. Shows you the settings up here, ISO 3200 with a 50mm lens, f4 at 1/25 of a second. You can put it into black and white. You can come down here. You can do all kinds of other stuff, color mixing, color grading, optics and geometry that will fix any lens distortion if you have it. Geometry will fix any other types of distortion. You can put on effects, grain, vignette. There's the vignette. Don't like that. Can change the. I mean, you can just. I don't even really mess around with a lot of this kind of stuff. Feel free to go in and take your time and explore. You could crop up here. Here we have a Band-Aid icon. That's a spot removal. Okay, if you have dust on your lens or something like that. Masking. You can do all this stuff in Photoshop too. Red eye. Snapshots. There's a lot of really handy stuff in here. Don't overlook it. It's worth exploring and learning about. Okay, so when we're done, just going to hit open. And should be any second now. Yep, I can see it. It's working. Okay, here are all my images in Photoshop. Okay, here's number 1. Here's number 2. Number 3 and number 4. Okay. I'm going to take a quick pause right here.